Hey, what's going on, guys? Mike. Been on the net a little bit doing these 10-minute videos because I had AIDS, but I'm over it now. I'm actually fully recovered from AIDS. No offense to anybody with AIDS. You could live a long time now with the meds and stuff. I had some kind of virus, not COVID, not the Delta variant, the elite variant. Had an upper respiratory deal. You guys have been asking me about content, specifically things not always tactical, and I just made that up because you always want tactical stuff. So I'm gonna do med. You don't want med. I actually probably put a title, I probably lied and put something super sexy to get you in here. And I'll talk a little bit about sexy, but I wanna talk about tourniquet application as well, because it's super important. Statistically more likely than self-defense, by the way. But let's start off with the sexy. So this is our new Fieldcraft Survival magnet retention system holster. I'm not gonna talk too much about this because this will be out in Sportsman's Warehouse exclusively on the kickstart of this. We're talking about 90-ish days, but let me just show you how this works. You got a magnet system and you got a gun that's made of metal, and then you have retention via that magnet. But what's most impressive is the draw stroke. Yes, the draw stroke. There is no friction from the draw stroke as it sits in your position of appendix carry on the side, wherever you may have it, when you draw the pistol. To me, that's important because most holsters use the retention friction that's adapted around the trigger guard. We're not doing that here. There are some other pieces to this that we'll talk about later, but I wanted to give you some sexy before the boring tourniquets. I have a tourniquet holder that I'm carrying inside the waistband. This is our tourniquet holder, just reversed. What's cool about the tourniquet holder for the Cat 7 is when you reverse it, this part of the Velcro won't eat your skin alive, nor the material on your shirt. So you could actually just put it in here, just like this, and keep it retained. And it fits snugly inside your belt, unless you're physically challenged, got different compositions, amoebas about you. This is going to fit inside your waistband, and I recommend at least you have this tourniquet on your person. If you need life-saving equipment, Dee Dee this morning showed me a grotesque video of a Chinaman getting in like a fight, and then the dude gets stabbed, doesn't realize he's stabbed, and the guy stabbed him in his leg, and he bleeds out in the femoral artery. I think we counted 16, 17 seconds he passes out. And guess what, guys? He never wakes up, because once you start bleeding out profusely, if you go unconscious, you can't stop your own blood if you're unconscious, and he wound up passing away. So have this within arm's reach. Your MERS, your purse, your whatever, maybe inside the waistband. I don't carry this inside the waistband because I don't like things jammed in my waistband besides my pistol, but I might carry this inside my car, inside my, I usually carry a fanny pack, depending on what I'm wearing. Let's talk about the application. I want this pre-staged. This one is for an extremity above the waist. That's because it's looped. Remember, if you have a loop and it's below the waist, you're not gonna be able to pick up your traumatically injured leg and throw this around your foot like you do in training. I know you do that. It's gonna be traumatically injured. So this is for upper extremity wound, knowing if I have the non-use of this anymore, I could sling it around here and do one arm application. So I have this pre-staged with the tail here. I could throw it up. I always position the windlass portion of this on the inside of my arm starting out, because once you go on the inside, you can't maneuver it anymore if you start it on the outside. Because if you go to start on the outside and you go to cinch it down, pulling it in, it's going to get taut. I love that word. So you start it here, you work the placement, that's about right, and then you cinch it down. Velcro all the way around, turning the windlass clockwise, and my arms are massive, so I can't turn it too much, but that's about good. And then you cinch this down and mark the time. That's as easy as it gets. Let's talk about the leg. So on the leg, same deal, but I'm pre-staging this tourniquet so it's unraveled. And then I'm S-folding it on itself, putting it inside the holder. I pull it, I can undo it all the way like this, and same deal. Remember, with a leg, just like the arm, I want to have the red portion facing in towards the heart. So I go here. You can get away with doing it on both sides, by the way, with a leg. With your leg, depending on what leg you got, you can do it on your right leg or your left leg, and still be able to pull it down. But notice how this is towards my heart. If I had it the other way, I could still do that, but I want to pull it in. Now you have a groove in the crux of your crotch. I want to be able to pull this up in the groove, because if you plant it here, one, you'll get obstacles that are inside your pocket, like this big old wallet, this leather wallet. So I want to get above that in that little groove, which is thinner than the thickness of my thigh. And I got some pretty thick thighs, so I don't want to lose that when it moves around. I cinched it down, I turned it. Once I turn it until I can't turn it anymore, which I probably can get one out of this. I could probably get another one out of that, but I ain't gonna cut myself off. Then I'll close it just like that. One of the things I always want to check is I want to make sure I check constant tension and pressure, and I can't get my fingers underneath the tourniquet. One of the biggest mistakes made is we forget that after a traumatic injury, we have to transport the person to a higher level of care. You don't just put on a tourniquet, go to sleep, and then you wake up in the morning, you're good. You have to get to a higher level of care. So when you transport a person to a higher level of care, you need to constantly do assessments on the casualty to make sure that it hasn't come in loose. The reality is the only thing holding this on is that Velcro attachment between the male and female portions. So if it comes loose, bam, you don't know it's loose because you're not assessing it, and the person just simply goes to sleep and they never wake up. Always make sure you take care of that. Guys, we're working with a company right now designing a civilian tourniquet. I will never steer you away from the tourniquet that's used by Special Operations Command and my former community, which currently is the North American Rescue Cat 7. This is the best tourniquet that you can get on the market. It is combat proven and tested, and you can get it on fieldcraftsurvival.com. If you guys got any questions or comments, whatever you want to hear for the next round of 10 minutes, I do these things not live, but the same day typically. This week at Fieldcraft Survival was all about med. We want to make sure we continue to educate and push. Go to @Fieldcraft Survival, follow that so you can get that education, and then let me know what you want to see this week on all things first aid and mindset and preparedness. Till next time, peace out, guys.